Let's speak about Workhorse, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we have to speak about what happened with Workhorse this week. The last 7 or 8 days have been absolutely insane in the world of Workhorse. Just over a week ago now, we had the Fuzzy Panda report come out, where myself and other YouTubers were accused of illegally promoting Workhorse, and it was also just a short report. In the meantime, ARK Invest has pretty much non-stop been buying more of the company. Roth Capital made an oopsie that has just annoyed everybody and taken away a considerable amount of credibility. Workhorse went ahead and raised $200 million, and just today I've seen that Steve Schrader has done an interview with TD Amerite, and a few points were brought up in that I want to bring you guys through, and there is also 1 or 2 more things I want to speak about. But we're going to have a recap of everything that's happened. We're going to have a look at the price action. We're going to have a chat about what we may expect to happen going forwards. But this is what we all signed up for with Workhorse, baby. So right before we get into the video, can I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? It really would help me out, my friends. You know what happens if you don't hit the like button, don't you? I will find you. Brian, stop threatening the viewers. If you're new around here, please, my friend, hit that juicy red subscribe button and join the family of investors. We're getting so close to 50,000. And drop me a comment. Let me know how you feel about Workhorse right now. With that being said, my friends, into the video. First things first, as we always do on the channel, we're going to have a look at price action, and it's just been insane. So we're starting off on the monthly chart. A month ago we were $26. We were all the way up to $30, and I'm sure absolutely everybody is going to remember this. And then we went on this huge sell-off. Now this was part of a broader market sell-off, and in particular a broader EV market sell-off, but still. Then we proceeded to boom back up. Everybody's happy. And then it was another crash. And then we were sideways, and then we boomed back up. And now another crash. And ultimately we're sitting down at $22.30 a share. It's been crazy. I mean, again, just even looking at the last 5 days, we were up massively. We were very close to $30 a share. And then boom, massive crash. Now, this price action in particular, I genuinely think was predominantly down to Roth Capital. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but you guys more than likely know what did happen with Roth. So essentially, just over a week ago, Roth Capital brought Workhorse, I believe, from neutral to a buy, with a price target of $33 a share. And in their report, they mentioned that it's an $8.1 billion contract, which again is a number that nobody had ever seen before. People have said 8 billion, nobody ever said 8.1 billion. And they also said that they expected it to be announced October 14th. That did not happen. And nobody else had ever thrown that specific number out there in a report like Roth did. So obviously, a lot of people got very confident. Now, there is a very well-known email that's been in circulation for a long time in the Workhorse community from a USPS spokesperson. Essentially, if you email them asking about the contract announcement date, they're going to say that it has been delayed due to the Roni and should be in production phase by the end of the year. But somehow, the whole team at Roth Capital have never seen this email. So then they went oopsie, and they brought it back down to $27, which obviously put a lot of, fear into the market. And that is genuinely why I think we've seen the majority of this sell-off. Now, I don't know if this was an oopsie, if it was a mistake, or if Roth Capital is manipulating absolutely everybody. All I know is that I am definitely not going to have as much belief in them as I previously had, because as a Workhorse investor, I knew about that email, and I knew there was no guarantee it was going to be the date that they had said. So it is a little bit disappointing to see. But anyway, what are you going to do about it? It is what it is. We can't change it. Okay, so then the next thing that happened, which was really quite exciting in all honesty, was this, okay? Workhorse, okay, secures $200 million in financing and will add 200 jobs. We found out they plan to start making new products. This is something that I spoke about with Steve Schrader in the past, but now they have actually come out and said it. So they raised the money to add jobs, speed up production, and expand its product offerings. So Steve Schrader went on and did this interview with the guys over at TDA. And I'm not going to make you watch the interview, of course you can if you want. It's 7 minutes long. We know an awful lot of the information that came out of it. But a couple of things of interest that came up that I find interesting when we keep in mind this 200 million we just raised. He said we've a backlog of orders with UPS and DHL. This is something we were aware of. Later on in the video, he continued to say when he was asked about, revenue, he said that we have a backlog of 1,100 to 1,200 vehicles, and that would equate to about 70 million in revenue. He also reaffirmed the fact that they want 300 to 400 deliveries by the end of the year, and he said that most of them are going to come in this quarter, which if you recall, I believe it was my last Workhorse video, I said I would expect that as well. I think this will be, a big telltale for us. When we start speaking about up in production, we speak with our production targets and the backlog of 11 to 1,200 vehicles. It looks nice. And then the only new thing that I haven't covered yet is this: Workhorse receives additional executive order from the California Air Resources Board for its C1000 extended range electric truck. So you guys probably remember we did speak about the extended range electric truck a considerable period of time ago. It has a range of about 150 to 160 miles, but essentially it's exactly what the title says. So the most important thing here is that the executive order permits Workhorse to sell its C1000 C1000 extended range electric delivery van in every state throughout the US, which is very, very important. Especially when it comes to, wanting to be able to take on whatever contracts that there are. And I'm not even just speaking the USPS. I mean, if you want a Walmart or something like that, you're going to have to be able to perform in every single state. And we know we're speaking about refrigeration right now, so something like that could be a reality, or any other retailer. But basically, being able to have your vehicles in every single state is, in my opinion, extremely important. And it could be the difference between you getting an order and a competitor. So Dwayne Yu said, adding our extended range C-Series model to the CARB approved list provides us with yet another option for potential buyers looking to electrify their fleets in more than a dozen energy focused states. So during the testing process, Workhorse's C1000 extended range achieved an urban highway blend drive range of 149 miles per charge, with the urban driving average approaching 160 miles, which most closely emulates the duty cycles of last mile delivery programs. This isn't the kind of piece of news that is going to move Workhorse, sadly. Workhorse doesn't really react to news or products. It literally is momentum, and it's FOMO, it's excitement. That's why it was so easy for Roth Capital to move them, but a somewhat positive piece of news like this isn't going to do much for them right now. So what is next for Workhorse? I mean, it's pretty much confirmed that we now don't know when the contract will be announced. We can still expect it to be by the end of the calendar year, so within the next, what, 8 weeks? You would have to assume it's not going to be Christmas or anything like that, so realistically maybe within 6-7 weeks. I think now a lot of people who wanted to get out, a lot of people who were just waiting to see if the contract was announced October 14th, probably are out. And yesterday it was a red day, but we were only down 2.71%, which actually wasn't that bad. We're up a little bit pre-market, but anything can happen. I think we could start to somewhat regulate. Now, I don't think we're going to be booming up anytime soon. I don't think we're going to be hitting $30 a share again until some real significant news comes out. I also would be quite surprised if we dipped below 22. I would be very surprised in all honesty. But I do think there is very real possibilities that we trade somewhere between 20 and 24, at least for a few days. Or what I should say is at least until the next decent piece of news comes out. So the next somewhat relatively interesting piece of news comes out, because Workhorse really does at this stage need news to move. As much as we all want it to go up, it's not going to do it without news, especially now that the contract, we don't really have a very accurate estimate in any way whatsoever for. People don't know when they're waiting till. So, some weak hands will get out, some impatient people will get out, maybe some people who had bad cost bases got out when they saw the Roth Capital report. Some people may also want to get back in at these prices or at slightly lower prices. I know a lot of people would be happy buying in here. I mean, I bought in the 24s, what, a month ago when we had this dip here, I bought in the 24s. So those new shares are actually in the red right now. So that's kind of my price prediction. I don't expect too many more massive days until we get a big piece of news. I would hope that we could stay above $21 a share. If it does end up being a green day today, if we can break $23 or even $24 today, I would be very happy. But as long, in my opinion, as we stay above 21, we're going to be good going into next week. And with Workhorse, it's like every day something's happening, so something may well come out over the weekend, and then we'll be able to have a look at them again. But that's where I stand with them right now, short term. Very important to remember, I'm a long-term investor. I want to hold these guys for a very long time. Despite what's happening right now, despite dropping 25+%, I just want to hold them, baby, and it really is that simple. But anyway, my friends, that is Workhorse. But guys, to be honest, all things considered, considering how insanely crazy the last 7, 8, even 9 days have been for Workhorse, I think we've held up decently. I mean, if we think about it, on the monthly chart, we're down, what, about 15%. But considering that there was an absolutely scathing short seller report that came out, and also manipulation by Roth Capital, or at least false information being spread by Roth Capital, who no doubt have a massive influence, and the fact that a lot of people expected the contract to be announced on the 14th, considering that all of those things happened, and this is already an extremely volatile stock, and we only went down about that much, I would consider it fine. Obviously, it's not nice, it's not what you want to see. When we hit $30, we wanted to stay there, we didn't want to crash back down. But this is Workhorse, and this is what you've signed up for. It's a highly risky, highly speculative growth stock. I've probably said that at least 2 billion times at this stage. It's not a safe company. You could lose a lot of money, you could make a lot of money. That's the kind of company it is. So if you're not able for that, if you're not able for these swings, it's not the company for you, my friend. But anyway, if you have watched this video all the way till the end, you, my friend, are a true legend, and I really do appreciate you being here. You're helping me out massively just by watching the video, so thank you. If you did enjoy, could you please hit that like button, drop me a comment, and subscribe if you're new around here, because all of that helps me out massively. And if you are interested, please hit the first link in my description and sign up to become a patron. You'll get full access to my private Discord group, you'll get my buy and sell alerts, ticker symbols to watch, research I'm doing. We have chats for Workhorse, Hyliion, Neo, Lordstown Motors, everything in between. But anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching. I will see you for another video very soon. Peace.